Hi loves, Maya is here. I am transformational coach and tantra educator, and today I would like to talk about alignment. What does it mean to be in alignment with yourself, with alignment of who you are? In a spiritual community, we hear these words very often that alignment is the key to feel good about yourself, to create the life that you desire, to manifest things. But instead of just being a beautiful words, right, that sounds so nice, be in alignment with who I am. What is it, and how you can get to this state? What is it required? And I want to share a little bit of a personal experience. I moved to New York about 10 years ago. And one of the desires that actually inspired me to do this kind of like leap of faith, because I moved, I didn't have a plan, I didn't have a job, I didn't know anyone. I was just kind of literally like trusting life and just taking my chances. But one of the desires and one of the inspirations behind this drastic change was that I wanted to be happy. And I was so convinced that environment, if I change the environment, it will change how I feel. And that was actually my biggest drive force behind this decision. I was very tired, to feel unhappy, to feel like nothing is working out for me, to feel upset, to deal with things that I didn't like. And instead of, figuring all of that stuff out, I decided, okay, I just need to change my location. I need to cross the ocean, and if I cross the ocean and change my location, I will be happy because, well, duh, it's New York City. Everyone is happy in New York. And I have to tell you that in about a couple of months, I pretty much recreated the life I was running away from. And that was the first moment where the thought came to my mind, wait a second. It's not about what is outside. There is something about what is going on inside. If I feel unhappy, uncomfortable, and if I kind of live in negative thoughts that are running in my head all the time, it doesn't matter where I will be. It doesn't matter what kind of job I will have. It doesn't matter about, my romantic relationships. It doesn't matter, how much money I have. It's not going to change what's in here. So coming in alignment with yourself has to do with how you feel about yourself and about your life, and identifying where is actually real you. You see, we grew up being conditioned that things has to be a certain way, that you have to accomplish certain things, you have to do certain actions in order to get somewhere. We growing up being conditioned that labels and status are important. And then what happens is, when we growing up, we kind of living life following somebody else's beliefs, somebody else's desires, somebody else's standards of what is good, what is acceptable, what means to be happy. And it's everywhere. It's in the movies, TV shows, advertisement. It's kind of like, it hits you from everywhere. It's almost impossible to find a place, a moment, and to actually ask yourself, wait a second, outside of all of this noise, what about me? Who I am? What do I want to create out of my life for myself? What are my true desires? So practices like meditation, embodiment practices, where you consciously do a different type of body movements that help you release certain emotions, that help you release certain beliefs, that help you to feel that, oh my God, I live here, I have body, I'm not only here, I'm not this chatter, there is something else going on, below my head. And our bodies are very wise, and our bodies, sending us certain messages through certain sensations. And even the intuition or gut is a sensation, and you able to hear this voice. The more you in tune, the more you connected with yourself, with who you are. And only when you do those things, only when you're very much conscious about who you are, and if you are in connection with your body, with your soul, with your very defined sense of self, and you're not only following the mind chatter, the ego, the conditioning that we all have, this is how you start suddenly, hearing those messages and certain thoughts. It's like a different voice. It's not the voice of your ego. It sounds very different. It's coming from here, literally from the chest area, from your heart, from your heart chakra. It's coming from here. And it's also, you hear it in your crown. It's like a voice. It's like a third party voice that will suddenly tell you, go there, contact this person, book this trip, I don't know, take this turn. This is the voice that will guide you and will help you to get out of, this fake prison and actually shift into what is it authentic, what is it organic for you. And it can be a huge difference, with what you used to think and the way you used to live your life. A couple of years ago, I had a fancy corporate job, and I was thinking that what it means to be happy in New York City. But I felt lost, and I felt alone. I felt isolated, and I felt this profound emptiness because it was not my story. It was something I heard that you're supposed to do when you are in New York City. You need to climb the corporate ladder to get somewhere, to be somebody, to have this status. But that was not my story. And then I had to take another drastic leap and just leave without a plan, without an agenda, and just follow what I was feeling here, follow this guidance. And to be able to listen this voice, especially very important for women, because we operate not in a, very much of a structural and goal-oriented. This is not our organic energies. Our energies is actually flow and surrender and being able to hear this voice and follow this voice. So those practices are very, very, very important for women, how to get to the feeling of your inner voice, that goddess, that priestess, that wisdom that guides you and shows you sometimes things that your mind, your ego is just not capable to reveal. Because when we're too much in our head, it's all about control. Because what's going on in our head, we're constantly thinking about what can go wrong, what do we have to do, how we can protect ourselves. We wired to constantly thinking about survival and make sure that we are safe, which is a great thing. But in reality, we do not live anymore in a world where there is so much danger, right? So we have this moment to actually sit and connect with who we really are and create what is it that we desire for ourselves. And if you would like to learn more, there's some links to my website where you can find my offerings for the coaching, and I do a special program for women to reconnect with the feminine energy and the sensual power and live more in your body. Live here in your heart, in your soul. Because when we find balance between our head and our bodies and our soul, this is the alignment. And this is the most hardest battle to win. And this is that equilibrium that takes some mastery to build on. And I'm super excited to guide you and support you on this journey.